Right. Hi, delegates. This is the Vice President of UNSC. We do not have the President with us right now. We do have the Rapporteur, and I believe that we have most of the delegates over here. So we're going to start. Before actually starting, I just want to ask, are there any doubts that you have regarding the ROPs or something like that? Anything you found wrong in the background guide or something? If you could reply with a yes or a no.
No, Chair, nothing as of now.
Chair, I had a doubt regarding the chit system.
Right, sure. So, like, do you
Uh,
want to know how it works?
yeah, sure, sir.
Right. So all your chits, the via EB chit and the substantive chits, are to be sent on the WhatsApp group, right? The format is to the delegate from your own port. Like for example, South Africa is sending a chit to China. So you'll write to the delegate of China from delegate of South Africa. If it's via EB, you write via EB below there, and then you write the body of your chit, right? And if it's substantive chits, you just write to the EB and from your own portfolio, that is, for example, China, and then you write the chit. And all this will take place on WhatsApp.
Okay. So even the substantive chits have to go on the group, right?
Right. Even the substantive chits have to go on the group.
Yeah. Thank you. Got it.
Okay. Any other doubt? Anything like any other question you have regarding the background guide?
No, sir.
Perfect. Just one thing, I myself will be switching on my camera in just 2 minutes. So I request you all that if you're comfortable with it, kindly switch on your cameras because it makes the committee a lot more interactive. So yes,
Vice President, is it okay if I just switch it on in a couple of minutes due to some
right,
personal?
right. That is absolutely your choice. I'm not forcing you to do anything. It's just that if you wish to turn on your camera, just please do it because it makes the committee more interactive.
Sure,
And
thank you so much.
yeah, perfect. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just pulling out the roll call sheet and we'll start with the roll call. Right. So considering that this is the SC, and I don't think that I need to go over the ROPs once more. Like, I don't need to go over the ROPs. So, like, is there anybody who is a first timer or a second timer is not sure about the ROPs of the UNSC? Oh, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm a first timer in UNSC.
Right. But you do know the basic rules of procedure, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we follow the same rules of procedure in UNSC also.
All right.
I'm a
Yeah.
first time in the MUN itself, so can you just brief me on what has to happen?
Right. Okay. Perfect. So I'll go over the ROPs once. So the committee basically starts with a roll call. That is, there are three kinds of votes. No, I'm sorry. There are two kinds of votes. There is the present or present of voting. The difference between present and present of voting is that when you say present, you basically have three choices during the end of the committee. That is when you make the documents and stuff. You have to vote. You when you vote present, you have the choice to either vote for the document, against the document, or abstain. Abstain basically means that you do not wish to vote upon the document, like you do not wish to say yes or either no. But when you give your roll call as present and voting, what happens is that you have to either vote for the document or against the document, right? So this is how the committee starts. Then we go into the motion to set the agenda. The agenda is the Yemen civil war, right? After that we go into the general speakers list. General speakers list is just like a general overview of the topic at hand, which you believe your country stands and all that. After that, we go into the mod caucuses. Mod caucuses are essentially considered to be the subtopics to the main topics that you have. For example, like I read the group and I saw a couple of mod topics like that was suggested, that the impact of COVID-19 and all. So that those are essentially your mod topics, right? There is a particular format to raise the more topics, that is, for example, the delegate of Indonesia would like to suspend formal debate and move into and move into a moderated caucus on the topic being the impact of COVID-19, and for the total time being, say example, 10 minutes and the individual time being 60 seconds. Just make sure that your total time is divisible by your individual time, right? So don't keep it like 10 minutes 65 seconds or something like that. Any doubts up till here?
No, thank you.
Okay, then after the mod caucus we have an unmod caucus. Unmoderated caucus is like, it is an informal form of debate, of course, and it is a form in which the EB will not be moderating you. That is, you are allowed to speak anything you want, just don't be disrespectful to other delegates. This is basically your lobbying time where you convince other delegates for what mod caucuses to raise and all that stuff, right? Mod caucus to raise, be a part of my document and something like that, right? So those are basically your unmoderated caucus. Then we come to points. Points, there is a point of personal privilege. Point of personal privilege is something that affects you personally. For example, point of personal privilege does not have like much relevance in online committees, but for example, if you're facing some internet connections problems and you were not able to hear, say, the delegate of Dominican Republic, so you will raise a point of personal privilege, like could the delegate of Dominican Republic repeat the point which they said right now. So that is somewhat of a, that is a point of personal privilege, right? Then we go to points of information. Points of information are basically questions that you ask to delegates on their basis of their speeches. For example, delegate of Germany finished their GSL speech. They have some time left, for example, 10 to 15 seconds. So, and you want to ask them a question. So I'll ask, are there any points on the floor? You'll say that I have a point of information to the delegate of Germany. And then you'll ask your question, and then delegate of Germany will reply to that question either verbally or either through chits, right? Point of information covered, point of personal privilege covered, point of order, right? Many people are used to raising points of order to factual inaccuracies. However, that is wrong, and points of order are not raised to factual inaccuracies. So points of order would be basically raised against someone like the EB, right? For example, if I make a mistake, if the GSL speech is going on, I recognized Vietnam, Dominican Republic, and Indonesia. But when I actually ask the speakers to come forward, I first say that Dominican Republic will speak. So someone will raise a point of order against me that the delegate of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam had been recognized first, and he slash she has to speak first, right? So that is a point of order. Point of personal privilege, point of information, point of order. Delegates, is there any point I'm missing?
No.
Right, perfect. Then we go to yields. Yup. Yields are basically practiced in when you're giving your GSL speeches. For example, delegate of Indonesia, you're giving your 90-second GSL speech and you elapse your speech in just like 70 seconds. You have 20 seconds remaining, right? So you have multiple types of yields. The first yield is to the executive board. That is, you give the remaining 20 seconds of yours to us, and we decide what we want to do with the time. We'll either ask you to sit down and move to the next speaker, or we may ask you a question. The second yield is that you yield to points of information. That is, you yield your 20 seconds to other delegates to ask you questions. Right? You have 70, like you finished in 70 seconds, you have 20 seconds remaining, you yield to points of information. Then other delegates can ask you question on the basis of your speeches. And the last yield is to another delegate. For example, you had prior talks to the delegate of United Kingdom, and United Kingdom said that if you have any time remaining in your GSL speech, kindly yield it to me. So what you can do is that your remaining 20 seconds, they would go to the delegate of United Kingdom, and United Kingdom can speak whatever they want in those 20 seconds of yours. Right? So this is yields covered. Chits are essentially of three types. Two delegate chits, that is from one delegate to another delegate. For example, you send it from Indonesia to Germany, that is a two delegate chit. Via EB chits are also 2 delegate chits only, but it is something that you want the executive board to read and mark you upon. For example, you are sending a chit to delegate of UK and you want the executive board to mark you on that chit. So that is a via EB chit. So you write to the delegate of UK from the delegate of Indonesia in brackets underneath that via EB, and then you send that chit with all your body and stuff, right? And the last chits are substantive chits. Those are chits you send to the EB, and they are essentially, for example, you had 60 seconds to finish your speech. However, all your points could not be covered in those 60 seconds. So what you do is that you send your remaining points via chit to the executive board so that you can be marked upon that. And considering this is a 3-day committee, there are not many delegates. So keep in mind that the chits would be obviously a little less marked than your speeches, right? So I believe I have covered every part of debate. Is there anything I have not explained? Could any delegate tell me if there's something I've not explained?
Sir, the resolutions.
The resolutions I explain on the day when you decide to do the resolutions.
Okay, sure.
You didn't mention that yields can't be passed on.
I'm sorry, what delegate of Germany?
Yields, they can't be passed on. Like if I yield my time to the delegate of the
Perfect.
United
Yeah,
Kingdom.
yeah. Yep. So, for example, delegate of Indonesia, you yield your time to the delegate of United Kingdom. Then the delegate of United Kingdom either can speak right there and there or add it to a speech. But the delegate of United Kingdom cannot pass that 20 seconds to another delegate, say the delegate of China. So that is something that is not possible, right? A yield can only go from one delegate to another delegate, and the chain does not continue after that. So those are essentially the rules of procedure. Are there any doubts, delegate?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you, delegate. So I'll be starting with the roll call. Yep. Delegate of Germany,
Present.
delegate of Germany is present. Delegate of Dominican Republic,
Present and voting.
present and voting. Delegates, just do keep in mind, once you put in present and voting, you cannot change your stance on the second day or the third day, right? Okay. So delegate of United Kingdom,
Present.
present. Delegate of Belgium,
We don't have the delegate of Belgium with us.
perfect.
Excuse me, Mr. Vice President, I want everyone's video to be on, please.
Perfect, ma'am. Delegates, could you turn on your video? I am also turning on. Thank you for
Everyone's
letting me
video to
turn
be on, please.
on. Right. I'm gonna continue with the roll call. Delegate of Vietnam,
Present and voting.
present and voting. Delegate of China,
Present and voting.
present and voting. Delegate of South Africa, delegate of South Africa. If you cannot speak due to some internet issues, please put your roll call in the chat. And lastly, delegate of Indonesia,
Present.
present. Perfect. Um, okay, I'll be looking for motions to set the agenda now. So delegates wishing to set the motions to set the agenda, kindly raise your hands. Right, delegate of China followed by delegate of Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Delegate of China would like to raise the proceedings for the day by establishing the agenda on the situation in Yemen.
Perfect, delegate. That motion is in order. Delegate of Dominican Republic, I believe. Yes.
The delegate of Dominican Republic would like to raise a motion to set the agenda.
What is the agenda, delegate of Dominican Republic?
Implication of the crisis in Yemen.
Okay, essentially the same top agenda. So we'll be voting upon the motion raised by the delegate of China first. So all seconds to the motion, kindly say seconds verbally. I'll be asking for seconds. One. Acha, do you know what seconds are? Okay, you don't know what seconds are. So there is a voting. You vote either yes or no against agenda to be set. So seconds are basically people. It is the prior of yes and no. If there are no seconds to a motion, we will not go into voting yes and no for that motion. This is followed in everything. Like for GSLs, for mod caucus, you need to have at least one delegate who is seconding your motion so that it actually goes into voting for yes and no. There are seconds and oppositions to a motion. So if there are second and oppositions both, we go to voting. If there are only seconds, we directly go into the motion. If there are no oppositions, we again directly go into the motion itself. Right? Is that clear?
Yeah, so we're supposed to say seconds if we.
Yeah. When somebody raises a motion, I'll ask you, are there any seconds to the motion? I'll wait for 3 seconds, and at least one person needs to say seconds verbally for that motion to be actually voted upon. And same goes with oppositions. Like you need to say opposition verbally. So any seconds to the motion raised by the delegate of China?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes, delegate.
I was facing some connectivity issues, so could you please repeat the motion raised by the delegate of China as well as the delegate of Dominican Republic?
Right. The delegate of China raised the motion to establish the agenda as the situation in Yemen. And the delegate of Dominican Republic raised the motion to be again establish the agenda as the implications of the crisis in Yemen. So they're essentially the same topic, right? So seconds to the motion raised by the delegate of China.
Seconds.
Okay, fine. Any other
Seconds.
seconds?
Seconds.
Seconds.
Perfect. Are there any oppositions to the motion? Fine. Seeing no oppositions, we directly move into that motion. So now the agenda is set to be the situation in Yemen, right? I'll be asking for motions to establish the general speakers list. Uh, Delegates wishing to raise a motion to establish the general speakers list, kindly raise your hands. Is there anybody over here who's not familiar with the raise hand option? Okay, seeing none, we just okay, guys. Somebody needs to raise a motion.
My
Yes.
hand is raised.
Delegate of Germany, you have been recognized.
The delegate of Germany would like to establish the general speakers list and enter formal debate. Sorry.
We did not start any debate. You need to set an okay. So if you do not set an individual speaker's time, the individual speaker's time is taken to be 90 seconds. Right? So okay. That motion is in order. Seconds to the motion raised by the delegate of Germany to establish the general speakers list. Kindly say seconds verbally.
Seconds.
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 Perfect. Oppositions to that motion, say oppositions verbally. Seeing no oppositions, we have now established the general speakers list. I'll now be asking for speakers to speak in the general speakers list. So all those wishing to speak in the GSL, kindly raise your hands. Fine. Okay. So just give me 1 second. Yes. So delegate of Dominican Republic, or as I say your name, kindly lower your hands also. Then we have the delegate of United Kingdom. Then we have the delegate of China. Then we have the delegate of South Africa. And then we have the delegate of Germany, right? So we have 90 seconds. I'll just set the timer. Just give me 1 second, delegate of Dominican Republic. Right, I'm so sorry for that. And Delegate of Dominican Republic, you may start your speech now.
Thank you for the recognition, Chair. The Yemen crisis. Affecting millions, the Yemen crisis must be contained and concluded as soon as possible. Caused by prolonged conflict, it has led to almost 100 civilians being either killed or injured per week as of July 2020. The Dominican Republic's ultimate goal is to find a feasible solution and conclude the tragedy of this crisis. As this nation has taken over the UNSC, the same has become of even a higher priority. As Ambassador Singer said on April 16th, the Yemen crisis is on agenda. And he went on to assure the media at the teleconference that the issue, which he refers to as a humanitarian crisis, will be discussed and concluded. This delegate proposes a flexible solution of a trust fund to be put towards the Yemen crisis. Each family of citizens should put towards a normalized amount of resources and amenities, and the same should be distributed in relief camps all across Yemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. You have about 30 seconds remaining. How do you wish to yield your time?
I wish to yield my time to questions.
Yep, 2 points of information, right. All the delegates wishing to ask points of information to the delegate of Dominican Republic, kindly raise your hands. Okay, seeing no points of information for the delegate of Dominican Republic, we move to the next speaker. Delegate of United Kingdom, you have the floor for the next 90
Sorry
seconds.
to interrupt you. May I have everyone's video to be on, please?
Right. Could the
Thank you.
could the rap also? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So, Delegate of United Kingdom, you may start.
Thank you, Chair. Yemen currently faces the world's largest humanitarian crisis. And although its name is specific to one country, it is a global dilemma, stemming from a failed political transition between Ali Abdullah Saleh and Abdrabbuh Mansur Hadi in 2011. The aim of this political transition was to bring peace to Yemen, but undoubtedly had the complete opposite impact on the now war-ridden country. The UK believes the legitimacy of the Houthi rebellion to be non-existent. A militant insurgent group with no elected authority seizing the reins of power was to be regarded with great concern. The UK deeply regrets the lives lost and condemns the Iranian-supplied Houthi forces. One could argue that the multiple risks posed to peace agreements are due to the supply of arms. However, the UK does so to establish a defense mechanism for the Yemenis. The Yemen crisis will not only be solved by humanitarian efforts, as it is futile without providing them a stable land and a working economy. The Foreign Secretary of the UK emphasizes a political settlement remains the only way to bring long term stability to Yemen. The delegate of the UK would like to remind the goal is not to mitigate the humanitarian crisis, but to resolve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. You have about 15 seconds remaining. How do you wish to yield your time?
I would like to yield to the chair.
Perfect. Thank you, Delegate. We move on to the next speaker, and the next speaker is the Delegate of China. Delegate of China, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Good afternoon, delegates and team executive board. First of all, going with the WWWH approach, I'd like to start by stating what is happening in Yemen and why is it happening. Since March 2015, Saudi Arabia and the UAE have led a coalition of states in Yemen against Houthi forces that, in alliance with former Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh, took over Yemen's capital Sana'a in September 2014. Over the past year, these alliances have fractured. Houthi forces, which still control much of northern and central Yemen, killed Saleh after clashes in December 2017. In southern Yemen, Saudi Arabia and the UAE have backed rival Yemeni groups. The Saudi-supported Yemeni government, led by President Hadi, and the UAE-backed Southern Transitional Council (STC). Coming to China's role in the crisis. In the summer 2017, Beijing worked to restart talks between UN and the Houthis after communications between the two sides broke down over the Houthi-controlled Hodeidah port. The solutions to these problems can be easily taken up only if the Houthis and the Hadis accept and respect each other's presence. Otherwise, Yemen will continue to become the poorest country in the world with no human resources, no food resources, no medical aid, and no water. peace should be established as soon as possible. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Delegate. You elapsed your time. We move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is the delegate of South Africa.
Okay, thank you, sir, for recognizing me. Yemen today stands on a cliff. On the humanitarian side, the situation is desperate, as explained by my fellow delegates. The South African government is very concerned about the deteriorating situation in Yemen. The protection of civilians remains a key priority for South Africa, and we condemn any deliberate attacks on civilians and other civilian sites. We fully support calls for an immediate ceasefire as a basis of allowing uninhibited provision of humanitarian assistance to the people of Yemen. The conflict in Yemen has already led to unspeakable tragedy for millions of people. As noted by the Security Council, it is a country on the brink of catastrophic famine. South Africa maintains that there is no military way out of the conflict in Yemen. The only sustainable resolution will be negotiated, inclusive, fair political settlement, which puts the interests and well-being of the 25 million citizens of Yemen first. South Africa stands ready to assist Yemen in any way within its means to find lasting peace and prosperity. A reconciliation process is necessary for the society in Yemen to function in the future. It is also necessary that the perpetrators are brought to justice. The reconciliation process should be conducted through transitional justice with the intention of achieving accountability, justice, and reconciliation. In the resolution, the Security Council should consider how reconciliation can be achieved in the conflict and how perpetrators can be held accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. You have about 6 seconds remaining. How do you wish to yield your time?
Yield to the chair.
Thank you, Delegate. Before I move on to the next speaker, I need to have more speakers for the GSL. So, all the delegates wishing to speak in the GSL, kindly raise your hands. Right, delegates, you cannot leave your
Point of
GSL.
inquiry.
Yes.
Are we allowed to go twice in the GSL?
Yeah, you can go 100 times if you want to in a GSL. There is no limit to the amount. Yeah. So
Point of
that,
personal privilege.
yes, delegate of Vietnam.
Yeah, can I use the washroom?
Yeah, perfect. Just don't speak it verbally. Just send me a chat that you will be off for about a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Perfect. Any other speakers wishing to speak in the GSL? And guys, this is a suggestion to you. Like, be ready with your GSL speeches, because if GSL elapses or it gets over, we'll have to end the committee because GSL cannot end. It is something that needs to go on till the last second of the third day, right? So, could anybody else raise their hands who wish to speak in the GSL? Seeing no one else, okay. Okay, we have China. Delegate of Dominican Republic and China, kindly lower your hands. Yep. I'll be asking for motions to move in, sorry, are there any points on the floor as of right now? Seeing no points, are there any motions on the floor? Okay. Delegate of South Africa, you've been recognized, and delegate of China, you've been, like, China, did you raise your hand?
Yeah. I'm facing some problem. I have raised my hand.
Right, perfect. So delegate of South Africa followed by the delegate of China. Delegate of South Africa, what is your motion?
Delegate of South Africa would like to suspend formal debate and move into a moderated caucus with the topic role of financing the crisis with respect to gaining resources, and total time being 20 minutes and individual speakers time being 60 seconds.
Perfect, delegate. I also have a request that when you're raising motions, if it's possible, just write them down in short form in the chat for everyone to read once again. Right? Perfect. Thank you, delegate. Do that too. And lower your hand also. And the delegate of China, what is your motion?
I had the same motion, just the total time being 15 minutes.
Okay, so the same motion with total time being 15 minutes and individual speakers time being 60 seconds. Right? Okay. So we'll vote upon the motion raised by the delegate of South Africa. Right, delegate of South Africa. Okay. All those who second the motion kindly say seconds verbally. Are there no seconds?
Seconds.
Okay. Right, exactly. When you support a motion, you need to say seconds in order for it to be voted upon, right? So, right, we have 1 second. Any oppositions to this motion?
Opposition.
Oppositions? Any more oppositions?
Opposition.
Oppositions, right. Seeing both for oppositions as well as for the motion, we'll move into voting. All the delegates in the favor of this motion, kindly raise your hands. Right, and the simple majority, if I'm not wrong, stands at 1. Is KKG Soumya Pandey a delegate over here?
No, she's the SG.
Okay, perfect. So, okay. We have 7 delegates. The simple majority stands at 4, right? So we need to have at least 4 delegates in order for a motion to pass. So all those in favor of this motion, kindly raise your hands. Okay, all those against the motion, kindly raise your hands. There is one delegate who is not voting. Okay, done. China, you were in support of the motion. You cannot be against the motion also.
Chair, I wasn't in support of the motion. I was against.
Oh, okay, wait. I believe then your hand was raised at that time. Seeing 5 oppositions, this motion fails. There is no other motion on the floor, so we have to revert back to the GSL. The next speaker on the GSL that we have is the delegate of Germany. Delegate of Germany, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Good afternoon, respected EB members and fellow delegates. Thank you for the recognition. Germany has been part of the United Nations Security Council since 1973 and is hoping for an effective discussion and conclusion on the devastating Yemen crisis. The crisis first arose as the spark of a conflict in 2011 when Yemenis protested the ruling of longtime President Ali Abdullah Saleh, with the biggest protesting group being held by the Houthis, who were a politically motivated Shia rebel group and had been at war with the Saleh government for years. The presidency was finally handed over to Abdur Mansur Hadi after multiple unsuccessful agreements with other groups. The Hadi government seemed like the best for Yemen, although it lost control. This then allowed groups like Al Qaeda and Daesh to take advantage of the political instability while Houthis gained territorial power. It all went horrendously downhill from there. Germany is proud of not contributing to further damage in Yemen and having one of the most restrictive arm export control and policies. Further, of how in 2018, Chancellor Angela Merkel signed a coalition agreement in 2018 which distinctly forbids the weapon export to any country that is directly involved in the ongoing Yemen civil war. This delegate looks forward to diplomatic debate and hopes this committee has a fruitful outcome. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, delegate. You will elapse your time. I'll again be asking, are there any points on the floor?
Sir, point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, delegate of China, I believe.
China.
Yes,
Yeah.
delegate.
Chair, even I have given a motion, right?
Right.
After the delegate of South Africa. So why wasn't it voted upon?
Delegate, you said that you have the same motion as the delegate of South Africa. So what that is considered is that is a second to that motion. Since the motion, like for example, I raise a motion and say you second that motion. You had essentially the same motion. So if my motion failed and you did not formally raise a motion, in practical terms, your motion also fails with that. So if you wanted your motion to be voted upon, you will have to raise it again. Like, for example, you'll have to verbally speak that the delegate of China would like to suspend formal debate and move into mod caucus on the following topic. Since you said you have the same topic of South Africa, your motion would not be voted upon. Right? Is that clear?
Yeah. Sure, sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Any other points on the floor? Seeing no points, are there any motions on the floor? Any other motions on the floor? Delegate
Chair,
of,
I want to raise my hand, but it's not getting raised. So
right, this is the delegate of China, right? Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So delegate of Germany followed by delegate of China. Delegate of Germany, what is your motion?
The delegate of Germany would like to raise a motion on the topic impact of COVID-19 on the Yemen crisis with focus on humanitarian crises for a total time of 15 minutes and an individual speaker time of 90 seconds.
Perfect. Delegate, also write the motion in the chat, and that motion, I'm putting it in order, but that would not be in order because you did not say that you want to suspend formal debate, move into a mod caucus. That is an essential part of the motion. I'm putting it in order, but from the next time, do keep in mind if you do not say mod caucus, your motion is not in order, right? So that motion is in order, and then we move to the delegate of China. Delegate of China, what is your motion?
Yeah, the delegate of China would like to suspend the formal debate and move into a moderated caucus with the topic role of financing in Yemen, with the total time being 10 minutes and per speaker time being 60 seconds.
Perfect. Delegate of China by the order of disruption. Yes, we'll be voting upon the motion raised by the delegate of Germany first, right? All those in favor of the motion raised by the delegate of Germany, all those seconds to the motion, I'm really sorry. Seconds to the motion, kindly say seconds verbally.
Seconds.
Okay. Any other seconds? Any oppositions to that motion?
Opposition.
Opposition.
Seeing both seconds and opposition, we move into the voting of that motion. So all the delegates in favor of that motion, kindly raise your hands. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 delegates. All those against the motion, kindly raise your hands. Those who were for the motion, lower your hands. Right, it was 4 to 3. So this motion passes. So we're now in a mod caucus for total time 15 minutes, individual speakers time being 90 seconds. On the topic being, yep, humanitarian crisis and the basic theme, the focus on humanitarian crisis, right? So delegate,
Point
yeah,
of order. It's
yeah.
actually the impact of COVID-19 on the Yemen crisis with focus on the humanitarian crisis.
That point of order is in order. My fault, delegate. Sorry. So the topic being impact of COVID-19 on the Yemen crisis with focus on humanitarian crisis for the total time being 15 minutes and the individual speaker's time being 90 seconds. Right? Delegate of Germany, do you wish to be the first speaker?
I wish to reserve my right to speak.
Right. Okay. So that essentially means that you are the first speaker. So the delegate of Germany. Okay. All the other delegates wishing to speak in this mod caucus, kindly raise your hands. Okay, we recognize the delegate of first Germany, then United Kingdom, then Vietnam. As I keep saying your name, kindly lower your hands also. And then we have the delegate of Dominican Republic, followed by the delegate of South Africa, followed by the delegate of Indonesia, and finally we have the delegate of China. Delegate of South Africa, also please lower your hands, you've been recognized, and also delegate of China. Right, perfect. So Delegate of Germany, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Yemen's already weak health system had been destroyed in the conflict. Because of this, in the pandemic, the healthcare workers providing healthcare with insufficient supplies are most at risk. When one medical professional dies in Yemen, the effect is exponential and extends to the entire community. Three main problems that have emerged with the pandemic in Yemen include the immense shortage in necessary funding for the humanitarian response, a lack of necessary infrastructure for COVID-19 prevention and management, the worsening economic crisis, which will likely increase the number of people in acute need. The delegate of Germany would like to mention that the Houthi territory is heavily populated and certain organizations suspect that they are not reporting all their cases for reasons still to be discovered. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Delegate of Germany. We do not have yields in moderated caucus, so we'll not be asking any questions. We move on to the next speaker, which I believe is the Delegate of UK. Delegate of United Kingdom, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Yemen is a country where an already weak health system has been destroyed by years of conflict. All of this has worsened in the pandemic. The COVID-19 response in Yemen has been severely hampered by limited testing, a lack of healthcare centers, and severe shortages of medical supplies and personal protective equipment, or PPE. On July 18th, statistics showed that over 27% of Yemenis confirmed having COVID-19, more than 5 times the global average at the time. The lack of basic necessities, resources, assistance, and a healthcare system on the brink of collapse are the main causes of the virus being so prominent in the country. The UK has provided funds worth over £160 million during the pandemic, keeping in mind the UN's concern regarding the health projections of COVID-19 in Yemen. The UK believes this package would provide over 700,000 medical consultations, train 12,000 healthcare workers to work efficiently and safely, and provide a boost to nearly 4,000 health centers to provide services. It aims to provide support to 300,000 vulnerable people, treat 40,000 children of malnutrition, and provide 1 million people with improved water supply and basic sanitation. This targeted package means the difference between life and death with thousands of Yemenis, who now also face the threat of coronavirus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate of United Kingdom. We move on to the next speaker, that is the Delegate of Vietnam. Delegate of Vietnam, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you. Good afternoon um, to the conference. With a poverty of more than 50%, Yemen was the Arabs' world's poorest country prior to the conflict. A 2019 report said the country's degree of suffering is nearly unprecedented, with more than 20 million Yemenis struggling with food insecurity and half of those on the brink of a famine. Disease has run rampant. Suspected cholera cases reached some 700,000 in 2019. Though just 1,600 cases of the new coronavirus disease, COVID-19, have been officially reported, experts suspect the actual caseload is far greater. Moreover, as the pandemic rages, many countries have cut back on aid to Yemen, which has a fragile health system and an infrastructure that has been devastated due to the war. In February 2020, the UN Refugee Agency reported that since 2015, the war has displaced over 3 million people, more than 1 million of whom are internally displaced. The situation has worsened under the 4-year land, sea, and air blockade imposed by coalition forces, obstructing vital supplies of food and medicine to the country. The ACLED has recorded more than 100,000 deaths due to lack of food, health services, and bad infrastructure since 2015.
Thank you, Delegate. You have elapsed your time. We go on to the next delegate, that is the Delegate of Dominican Republic. Delegate of Dominican Republic, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you for the recognition. If anything, the COVID-19 pandemic is supposed to be another major challenge for this humanitarian crisis. Imagine already having an unstable amount of resources and financial system and having the same be broken down repeatedly for something that has impacted the entire world negatively. This is what's happening in Yemen on both a national and individual level. The healthcare system, upon being combined with treating those vulnerable due to the civil war and now this raging pandemic, has failed to deliver a variety of treatments to quite a few civilians in the nation. This has also led to various countries not being able to provide as many resources to Yemen whilst attempting to save their own nation, leading to the situation worsening. In a context where civilians have been deliberately attacked by all sides, COVID 19 has added a new layer to the unspeakable suffering for millions of civilians in Yemen. Whilst Europe has reacted with development aid but has thus failed to far support the same. The Dominican Republic calls for more attention on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate to Dominican Republic. We move on to the next speaker, that is the Delegate of South Africa. Delegate of South Africa. Yes, Delegate of Germany.
Can I raise a point of personal privilege?
Yes, sure.
Parliamentary query. I'm not actually sure. If something in a speech is extremely plagiarized, what do I do about it? Like if I hear it in someone else's speech?
The first thing that you can do is that you send a chit to the executive board saying that the speech like this is something I was coming to, right? So you can send a chit to the EB if it is plagiarized, right? If it's plagiarized, you send a chit. And considering that mod caucuses do not have questions, if you wish to ask a question, you have three things that you can do. First is send a chit, right? Second is that you should have not should have, you could have essentially raised a motion to ask more like POIs in moderate caucuses, which is not possible now because you've already started with this mod caucus. Or the third thing is that considering you have 90 seconds and like many of you are being left by 20 seconds, what you can do is that you can refer to their speeches. For example, you do not believe it's something for say Dominican Republic said. So you say that Dominican Republic said this. However, it is highly hypocritical. It is wrong. How can they say that and all that stuff? Asking them questions in that form in your speech itself, which would be highly appreciated because your speeches are obviously marked greater than what your chits will be marked in an SC, right? So these are the three forms. However, if you wish to have questions, do keep that in mind and raise a motion to allow POIs in mod caucus when you raise the next mod caucus topic, right? So that's over. Delegate of South Africa, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you, sir. Since 2016, Yemen, the poorest country in the Middle East and North African region, has been in the middle of a civil war. In 2017, Yemen was declared the world's largest humanitarian disaster by the United Nations. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs at the time, an estimated 80% of the population, 24 million people, require some form of humanitarian or protection assistance, including 14.3 million who are in acute need. Two-thirds of all districts in the country are already pre-famine, and one-third face a convergence of multiple acute vulnerabilities. At the same time that COVID-19 arrived, Yemen also hit by a once-in-a-generation flooding that affected more than 100,000 people, left thousands of people homeless, and impacted camps for IDPs. COVID-19 has coincided with the Yemen's rainy season, which brings the potential for cholera outbreaks. The 2019 cholera outbreak started during the rainy season and was the second worst outbreak in global history. It is still not officially under control. Despite the challenges posed by the humanitarian, health, and safety situation in Yemen, people are still coming together to support each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. We move on to the next speaker, that is the Delegate of Indonesia. Delegate of Indonesia, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
The violent conflict between the Houthi rebels and the Saudi UAE military coalition has left over 100,000 dead in Yemen. It has been named the worst humanitarian crisis by the UN. It has displaced more than 3 million people, created food shortage, and undermined children's development. Now, with the spread of COVID-19, the condition has worsened as cases have been rising daily. The current conflict has devastated the country, leaving millions of people without access to basic healthcare needs, potable water, and sanitation, which is utmost required to prevent the virus from spreading and also taking care of themselves, all the citizens. We should also know that before the coronavirus had started spreading, Yemen was already facing problems with contagious diseases such as malaria, dengue, and cholera. Local health experts have reported that over 70% of the Yemen population has weak immune systems, and those suffering from chronic illnesses can contract the virus easily. Most of the hospitals aren't fully functional, with less than 1,000 ventilators and intensive care unit beds across the country. According to the International Rescue Committee, Yemen has the lowest testing rate of about 31 tests per million citizens. The country has around 2,000 cases at the moment and around 600 deaths. Though the number of both is thought to be much higher than it is, the true scale of the outbreak has been impossible to be certain of. It would be a challenging task to prevent further spread of the virus without knowing exactly how many people have been infected. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. You have elapsed your time. We go on to the next speaker, that is the delegate of China. Yep, delegate of China, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Yeah, COVID-19 is a crisis is in a crisis in nearly every country. But imagine dealing with a pandemic in a country under conflict, where violence and instability are a daily reality, where food and water systems are barely functional, where peace is a distant dream. That is the world that millions of Yemeni children face each day. After 5 years of conflict, over 12 million children need some kind of humanitarian assistance. Millions face the risk of cholera and diarrhea because their communities lack water sanitation and hygiene, even soap that they need. And these children face a new threat, COVID 19. People have never been immunized and have really low immunity. Hand washing and physical distancing is nearly impossible in such regions. Uh, the pandemic is elevating concerns around a worsening food crisis in Yemen. With many people losing their jobs, families are struggling to provide food, medicine, and other necessities without income. Cost of living in Yemen has significantly increased as a result of the ongoing conflict, which began in 2015. Communities are dealing with inflation, currency depreciation of their currency, and rising prices for food and other essential goods. Cessation of the war could be an important step, but alone will not definitely pause the proliferation of COVID 19 in the country. Therefore, international humanitarian organizations should also dedicate a high level joint action to implement a series of well coordinated measures, emphasizing both whole of government and whole of society approach to protect Yemenis' right in life and health. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, delegate. You will elapsed your time. Um, any other delegates wishing to speak in this small caucus, kindly raise your hands. Any other delegates wishing to speak again in this small caucus, kindly raise your hands. Okay, seeing no one, we have elapsed the small caucus. Right. Delegates, on an informal note, right? This is like, okay, your speeches were good, they were absolutely good, but when you are in an essay, a majority of the focus goes into the laws and the regulations of a country, right? So you need like most of his speeches were overviews or a greater point of view of what the situation is going on. There were only there were only seven speakers. Yeah, you all had a chance to go twice, right? So what you could have done was that you could have given an overview in the first speech, and the second speech you could have gone into detail in some subject. For example, you could have gone into seeing the amount, like the less amount of water that the Yemens have. You can list out the reasons why they don't have the water, what has happened to the existing water there, what kind of aids are they getting, and if they have those aids, what kind of problems are they having to distribute those aids, right? So in an essay, you need to go into depth about situations, because considering that, first of all, this is a 3-day committee, right? You need stuff to speak about. You absolutely need stuff to talk about. You need to go in detail. And further on, if you go, you need to talk about laws of certain countries or certain treaties or something like that to actually make the debate a lot more interesting, right? Clear? Yes, no, somebody.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we move back to the GSL, and the next speaker that we had on the GSL was the delegate of Dominican Republic. Delegate of Dominican Republic, you have the next 90 seconds.
Thank you for the recognition. Impacting every corner of the globe, the Yemen crisis is a humanitarian crisis that is the main focus of the UNSC. The Dominican Republic, with its new control over the same, strongly assures that this crisis would be concluded. More than $2.6 billion in donations were made towards Yemen to ease the impact of the crisis, and nations are either battling or assisting Yemen when it comes to overcoming the same. Though this isn't the root cause of the crisis, the AQAP's control over Yemen has caused this unprecedented crisis to grow and escalate. In North Yemen, there's a Houthi-led rebellion. In South Yemen, there's a successionist movement, and in all, these leads to mass economic problems and shortage of basic resources. How could this possibly be a country wherein people's lives should be nurtured? By nations cooperating, a common trust fund could be made wherein each nation was to put forth a small 0.7% of its annual profits towards recovery from the Yemen crisis. Whilst on lines of recovery, the Dominican Republic urges families across the country to raise awareness about this through their own connections and through their citizenships. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Dominican Republic. You have about 10 seconds remaining. How do you wish to use your time?
I'd like to yield it to the chair.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Okay. I'll have to ask for more speakers for the GSL. Kindly, at least two people raise their hands. So all the delegates wishing to speak in the GSL, kindly raise your hands. Delegates, we can't go ahead with the committee if you don't actually speak in the GSL. Okay. Guys, on an informal note, what do you want to do? Right? We are not even like 1 hour into the committee and you guys have elapsed your research. So what do you want to do? Like, we need to have speakers for GSL.
Yeah, I have more speeches for the GSL, but isn't it
That
getting
is
using just
perfect. Like, you have the speeches. Like, okay, guys, you have okay, by the, like, from the executive board, you have given like a 5-minute unmod. Discuss among yourselves like what you want to do. You use this 5 minutes to build up a speech, right? Do anything in these 5 minutes, but after the like the next 5 minutes, I want at least two people raising their hands for GSL, right? So it's 32 right now, 232. 237, this unmod ends. You guys can decide you want to do mods, but I need at least two speakers for GSLs after this, right? Start.
So do you guys want to take this time to write your GSLs or?
Yeah, I think we should all just write out, like, if we want to speak any more GSL, we should work on making that. This is for 3 days, right? This conference. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I think all of us are going to work on making our GSLs.
Right, delegates, it's 2:37. So I'll ask again. All the delegates wishing to speak in the GSL, kindly raise your hands. And I request you all to turn on your cameras so that we know that you're here. Perfect. All those speaking to wish in the GSL. Yeah, right. So all the people who have raised their hands, you wish to speak in the GSL? Okay. Okay. Delegate of Vietnam, followed by the delegate of Dominican Republic, followed by the delegate of South Africa. Right? These are the people who have to speak in the GSL. Right, that's figured out. So we move to the next speaker we have in GSL, that is the delegate of China. Delegate of China, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Yeah. The delegate of China is going to talk about relations between Russia, China, and Yemen. China fully supported all UNSC resolutions on the Yemen conflict, notably breaking from Russia. China supported Resolution 2216, passed in April 2015, that imposed sanctions, including a general assets freeze, travel ban, and arms embargo on a Houthi leader and Saleh's son. Russia, however, abstained on the vote. Moscow seeks a more balanced posture on Yemen through favoring a pro Iranian presence, whereas Beijing tilts towards Riyadh's position. Neither Russia nor China views Yemen as a regional priority, and thus both countries have tended to support the international consensus. Furthermore, China was able to strike a balance between two rival powers by supporting the Saudis and Yemen on the one hand and Iranians on the nuclear deal on the other. China participated in the international negotiations on the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, whose implementation coincided with the Saudi bombing in Yemen, and regarded the agreement as a major diplomatic achievement. The Chinese calculated that Yemen was a higher priority for the Saudis than the Iranians, and that the nuclear deal was more significant to Tehran. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. You have 10 seconds remaining. How do you wish to yield your time?
Two questions.
Okay, so all the delegates wishing to ask points of information to the delegate of China, kindly raise your hands. Okay, delegate of Dominican Republic, you've been recognized.
Thank you for the recognition. This delegate was just wondering if China has any particular laws in place to sort of back up the statements that were mentioned in the GSL right now. And if so, could you possibly just mention the same?
Delegate, could you be a little louder and clearer? I'm not able to understand.
Yes, the delegate of Dominican Republic was wondering if China had any specific laws put in place or if they're planning to do the same. And if so, could the delegate of China please mention them?
Delegate, laws related to what?
Laws related to the Yemen crisis and sort of gaining resources for the same, if possible.
Yeah, I have them, but a delegate of China has them, but I'll include them in the further speeches. So I'll ensure that your question is answered. If not, so you can ask again while chat.
Oh, thank you, delegate of China. Just one thing, do not rephrase questions like delegate of China said that regarding what. So that is essentially not allowed. So once you speak the question, if it's not clear, delegate of China, you can okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Right. Moving on to the next GSL speaker, we have the delegate of Vietnam. Delegate of Vietnam, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you. So the war in Yemen, one of the poorest countries on the planet, it's a story of a dreadful, woeful humanitarian crisis with 2.4 million people have been displaced. The area is plagued with drought, famine is looming. There is inadequate shelter. There is poor infrastructure. There is barely any medical facilities and services to deal with the crisis, the ongoing crisis. And as now Vietnam is part of the Security Council, we would like to talk about the solutions to combat this crisis. We feel that a neutral third party country needs to be a broker, to broker a truce between the Yemen government and the Houthis, as there are many other nations like Iran and Saudi meddling with the Yemeni politics purely for selfish reasons. All foreign powers need to withdraw. Countries like USA, UK, Germany, France, and the GCC, we feel that they need to withdraw. Both sides should allow the World Food Program deliveries to be made, and Doctors Without Borders to bring in needed medical support. Both sides need to put emphasis on securing the civilians and aiding the workers present in their respective areas of control. Both sides need to deal with Al Qaeda and ISIL factions in their respective areas of control.
Delegate, please
Once,
wrap.
yes.
Please, like your time has elapsed. Please wrap up.
Okay. So once this is completed, a third party mediator needs to stop in and interim a power sharing model.
Thank you, Delegate of Vietnam. You have elapsed your time. Okay. Are there any points on the floor? Seeing no points, are there any motions on the floor? Delegate of China, followed by delegate of Dominican Republic, followed by delegate of Germany. Delegate of China, what is your motion?
The delegate of China would like to suspend the formal debate and move into a moderated caucus on the topic role of financing in Yemen with respect to gaining resources, with the total time being 10 minutes and individual time being 1 minute.
Delegate, that motion cannot be raised because it was failed once by the committee. Right? You can raise, you can rephrase that mod caucus again, because you have said the same mod caucus, the role of financing. So that has once been failed by the committee. So it cannot, in the same word, it cannot be raised. You can just rephrase that mod caucus topic and raise it again. Just rephrase that topic, right? Perfect. Okay, the next person who was recognized was the, wait, who was, yeah, right, the delegate of Dominican Republic.
The delegate of Dominican Republic would like to suspend formal debate and move into a moderated caucus on the topic of financing with respect to gaining resources and what exactly it does to the Yemen crisis, for an individual speaker's time of 90 seconds and total time being 10 minutes.
Okay, 90 seconds and 10 minutes. Perfect, delegate. Thank you. Delegate of Germany, what is your motion?
The delegate of Germany would like to suspend formal debate and move into an unmoderated caucus for a total time of 10 minutes.
Okay, so an unmod for 10 minutes, right? Perfect. By the order of disruption, we vote upon the motion raised by the delegate of Germany first. So, sorry, people who second the motion raised by the delegate of Germany, kindly say seconds verbally.
Seconds.
Seconds. Any other? Seeing no more. Any oppositions to the motion? Say oppositions verbally.
Opposition.
Opposition.
Opposition. Seeing both oppositions as well as people in support of the motion, we move into voting. So all those in favor of the motion, kindly raise your hands. Okay, all those against the motion, kindly raise your hands. There is one abstention. There were three. Okay, South Africa voted. This motion fails. Sorry, this motion fails. Right. We move on to the next motion that was raised by the delegate of Dominican Republic. that is to have a mod caucus on the topic financing with respect to gaining resources, for the time being 10, like total time being 10 minutes and individual speakers time being 90 seconds. Am I right, delegate?
Yes.
Yes. So people who second that motion kindly say seconds verbally.
Seconds.
Okay. And oppositions to that motion kindly say opposition verbally.
Opposition.
Opposition. Seeing both seconds as well as oppositions, we move into voting.
Point of inquiry.
Yes, delegate.
Is it possible to change the time now because you're voting? Like, is it possible to change the time?
No, delegate.
Okay.
Right. Okay. All those in favor of the motion kindly raise your hands. Fine. Or wait.
My
Let
bad. My bad. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll ask again. All those in favor of the motion kindly raise your hands. Okay. Everybody who's in favor, lower your hands. All those against the motion kindly raise your hands. Okay. Seeing that there is only one opposition, this motion passes. So you're now in a mod caucus for the topic being financing with respect to gaining resources, with the total time being 10 minutes and individual speakers time being 90 seconds. Delegate of Dominican Republic, do you wish to be the first speaker?
Yes, I wish to be the first speaker.
Okay, so Dominican Republic, you have been recognized. Right. All the other delegates wishing to speak in this mod caucus, kindly raise your hands. We have delegate of United Kingdom, followed by the delegate of South Africa, followed by the delegate of China. All the other delegates wishing to speak in this mod caucus, kindly raise your hands. China, South Africa, lower your hands. Delegate of Germany, you have been recognized. Any other delegates wishing to speak in this mod caucus? Okay, seeing no more speakers. Delegate of Dominican Republic, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you for the recognition. The Yemen crisis has caused a variety of problems, the most visible being lack of resources and financing for the same. Through financing, a variety of nations would increase their international relations, whilst easing the load on the citizens and the government of Yemen. As financing an economic basis of a country is key to enhancing the development of the same, financing with respect to gaining the resources for the Yemen crisis is a major part of concluding it. More than $2.6 billion in donations were made towards Yemen to ease the impact of the crisis, and nations are either battling or assisting Yemen when it comes to overcoming the same. Western diplomats said an inspection of grain stores in a port had been carried out by the UN World Food Programme. But the warring sides still need to agree on which road could be used to transport those resources and supplies to needy recipients and those in relief camps. But this isn't nearly enough. The conditions which the people of this country are forced to bear are unacceptable and must be fixed immediately. The Dominican Republic urges other nations to realize this through whatever means necessary and take action, as this is the only way we would be able to combat and conclude this crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of Dominican Republic. We move to the next speaker, that is the delegate of United Kingdom. Delegate of United Kingdom, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
As the delegate of Dominican Republic said, the lack of resources negatively affects the development of Yemen. In a country practically brought to their knees by conflict amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, the UK's contribution to Yemen has been significant. In general, too, the resources, aid packages, and money the UK has donated to Yemen have helped tremendously, and the UK regards the crisis in Yemen with utmost concern, providing around £4 billion worth of assistance since the conflict began. The funding in 1 month alone can be enough to meet the immediate food needs of millions of Yemenis. From food packages to trained personnel to resolve the civil war, the UK has done their most to deliver resources and continues to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of UK. Would you be open to a question from the executive board? You'll not be marked upon this. Delegate, if you like.
Okay.
Right. Okay. It's just a basic question. Nothing. You'll not be marked upon it. You said that you've been supplying great amounts of aid to the Yemenis people in your speeches, right? However, seeing that their situation has not improved since 2011, when the instability actually started, so like, what are the actual ways that you have ensured that your aid is reaching the people? And considering that the ports are basically functions for Al Qaeda to practice, how are you ensuring that the aid actually moves into the country?
I will be bringing this up in my further speeches.
Perfect, delegate. Thank you. We move to the next delegate, that is the delegate of South Africa. Delegate of South Africa, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you, sir, for recognizing me. Financing plays a crucial role in the economy as we all know. Yemen is facing lack of resources as well as finance. The country is in dire need of assistance and aid. The World Bank had announced $500 billion in funding to provide emergency livelihood, health, and nutrition support for the most vulnerable people. Out of this total, UN agencies disbursed grants worth $50 million in 2016 for social and health projects. Of the remaining $450 million, $250 million will be devoted to creating income opportunities and strengthening the Social Fund for Development and the Public Works Project. Although not traditionally considered to be part of humanitarian aid, such activities are key to at least financially enabling the population to access basic goods and services, including medical care. The other $200 million will be managed by the UN Development Programme, UNDP, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization to support the local health system in delivering emergency and essential health and nutritional services for estimated 7 million Yemenis. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of South Africa. We move to the next speaker, that is the delegate of China. Delegate of China, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you, Chair, for the recognition. Yemen produces little of its own food and fuel, so Yemenis rely on imports to survive. According to UN estimates, 15.9 million people, more than half the country's people, wake up hungry every day. And in the absence of food assistance, this number would rise to 20 million. But international funding is dropping off. On June 2nd, a UN-sponsored donor conference brought in $1.35 billion, just half of what was raised last year. In the meantime, 12 million children across Yemen still need humanitarian assistance to survive. What the delegate of China feels is that the funding should come from the World Bank or developed countries who are willing to help in financing Yemen and restore its beauty back. The developed countries should fund NGOs or organizations that are that are already helping in providing basic amenities like food and supply of clean water to the Yemenis. To name such organizations, Mona Relief and Yemen Aid, etc. China has also helped in funding Yemen. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. We move to the next speaker, that is the delegate of Germany. Delegate of Germany, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
1 second, sorry. Yemen, before the destructive crisis, was already a poor country, and with the crisis, poverty is at its peak and resources are scarce. 24 million Yemenis out of 30 million are in need of some form of assistance. External financing is critical for people in Yemen to be able to survive during the crisis. Tearfund, a German organization, has taken initiatives to raise funds that can pay for resources in healthcare and have been working together with Yemen since 1998. Further, the United Nations has raised $1.1 billion for resource aid in Yemen, although a statement was made saying that far more would be needed or else we would face an horrific outcome. Germany has also donated a $140 million humanitarian relief package for Yemen in 2020. Finally, the delegate of Germany would like to state that financial stability can give a sense of, can serve as a beacon of hope for Yemen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Delegate of Germany. Any other delegates wishing to speak in this mod caucus again or like for the first time? Kindly raise your hands. Okay, wait. Dominican Republic, do you wish to speak again?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Any other speakers wishing to speak in this mod caucus? Okay, so delegate of Dominican Republic, followed by the delegate of China. And is there anybody else? No. Okay, so Dominican Republic, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Thank you for the recognition. As mentioned in my previous speeches, it is imperative that we discuss the resources and financing and how the same could help the Yemen crisis. The Dominican Republic, as mentioned earlier, urges awareness to be spread, for without the same, there might not be enough resources to give to the Yemen crisis. We also understand that the countries are also battling their own problems, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. But amidst the same, we have to realize that there has to be a new normal, a new method through which resources must come. The same would be discussed in my further speeches, as this is a subject that is of utter importance. One idea is to create a sort of case study based on the results and statistics of our already normal resources and the amount that we're giving to the Yemen crisis. Through the same, countries will be able to track a change and to see if the resources that they are donating as of now were even making the same amount of impact, let alone even more. The Dominican Republic calls for more innovative ideas like the same from a variety of nations and urges them to cooperate along with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. We move to the next speaker, that is the Delegate of China. Delegate of China, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Yeah. On July 13, 2017, China's state news agency, Xinhua, announced that the Chinese government had successfully delivered its first tranche of humanitarian aid to Yemen's southern port city of Aden. The Chinese government's assistance package consisted of $22.5 million in relief supplies aimed at ameliorating food shortage in Yemen and combating the country's burgeoning cholera epidemic. Even though China has been reluctant to diplomatically intervene in Yemen, Beijing's aid provisions to Yemeni President Hadi's Aden-based government suggest that China is forging an informal partnership with pro-Saudi factions in Yemen, in addition to entrusting Hadi-aligned officials with humanitarian aid. China has criticized attempts made by the Iran-backed Houthi rebels to form a new government in Sana'a and has sold stealth weaponry to Saudi Arabia to assist Riyadh's military intervention in Yemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of China. We have finished with this mod caucus. Okay. Are there any points on the floor? Dominican Republic, do you have a point?
No, I think there's a lag, so that's why it's taking a little time to lower my hand.
Oh, no problem. Okay. We move back to the GSL. Wait. Ma'am, are we supposed to break for the lunch right now, or can we have one more speech?
It's time now, so you can break for lunch and then you can come back.
Okay. Just one suggestion before you guys go. Obviously, have your lunch. Okay, don't starve yourself, but try to find out more research so that you have more for moving on in the committee. Right? Perfect.
Yes.
We'll meet back at 4 o'clock. So please be back by 4 o'clock. Don't leave the meeting. Turn off your mics, turn off your video, eat, do research, whatever you want to do. Just be back by 4 o'clock. Right? Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.